So aggressively enter. We're actually going to be playing Trilby's notes from the beginning. I should really read these out. I suppose we can pause the video to watch it later on. I'm going to play it on. I'm going to put it on YouTube. I'll try and do proper commentary this time. Here we go. That was what I thought as I stood and watched a foe manor collapse into flaming ash. I need to learn to read. The ordeal was over. Those 5 days cost us all so much. Philip and AJ paid with their lives. They were the fortunate ones. He's talking about 5 days as strangers. I was expelled from school for truancy of red fuchsia in tatters. Simone Taylor took to the bottle. Her broadcast became slurred, her eyes hollow and unwelcoming. She soon vanished from television screens. As for me, I tried to return to life as a cat burglar, but I had been forever tainted by my time spent in that wretched house. Memories of my possession came back in my nightmares. Every night I was there again, in the mansion, staring out through unfamiliar eyes, as Philip died in my hands. I became convinced that John Defoe was not at rest, that someday he would return for me. Oh god, this is a long intro. You can pause it and read it on the video later. I'll leave it up long enough. I'm not reading it all out. I might read out some of the text later because it's a bit small. That's about it. I'm going to try and complete it all in one sitting as well. Special talent project. I'm sure I could have come up with something better. But still, this is a very good game, so I'm not going to criticise any tiny little things about it. I'll try and leave this text up long enough so you guys can read it. You can pause the video later. Read it. Actually, artsy. I do like the sprites for this one. What was it to do? Right, that's inventory. How do you put in a command again? Ah, yeah, it's just start typing, that's it. I knocked sharply upon Simone's door. Receiving no reply, I knocked again, louder. Bloody connection. Seriously. Anyway. That's where we were. We want to use his lockpicks. Yeah, that's what we've got. Bloody hell, it's dark. I need to learn to spell. See, there we go. I pulled open the blind. Ah, lovely, a dead body. Yeah. Trying to remember my commands, everyone. Check floor is the same as check the whole room. Anyway, check body. The body on the floor was undoubtedly Simone. I felt for a pulse and my hands came away stained with long-cooled blood. My fingers traced the outline of a large wound in her torso, slashed by a big weapon, wielded by a big assailant. I like using the word big. Called for an ambulance as futile as it would be, and left before they arrived. Ah, poor Yahtzee. He's been through shite. Been through a lot of shite in these games. I think Yahtzee's like a friend of mine. I like to torment him for original characters. You can read this bit yourself, everyone. Planned Bronwyn Hotel. Play a friend in case anyone's wondering how to pronounce that. Yay! Here we go. I'll read out the dialogue because I think it'll be pretty small. You're Trilby, right? As soon as I arrived, I was greeted by a balding man in a grey anorak. I wondered if I was expected to know who he was. That depends. My name is Leckman. I'm with the Ministry of Occultism. Oh? I thought the Ministry were clear on the fact that I was handling this on my own. Maybe there are still people who don't trust you, Mr. Trilby. What? I haven't stolen anything since I joined the STP. It hasn't gone unnoticed that your history with the Defoe race influences you psychologically. Balls. I'll skip past some dialogue, sorry. Rest assured that I will endeavour to maintain absolute professionalism on this assignment. Nevertheless, I have my orders. Keep out of each other's way, then pursue separate investigations. I'm sure I don't want to get mixed up in a reunion. Ha! I watched him disappear around the corner of the building. I very much doubted that Lenkman and I would become friends. I think I pronounced that right. Lenkman. I might be pronouncing it wrong, actually. The Clanbronwyn Hotel lobby was a warm welcome. The building was certainly well maintained, and yet there was something about it that nagged at the back of my mind, quickening my pulse. I dismissed the sensation, an act which, in retrospect, I would come to regret. Evening, Terence Railby, that's a very bad pseudonym. We're here for the antique fair. We've put you in room 3C on the 3rd floor. Going to sign the check-in book. Here comes the other dude. That woman behind the counter vanishes later and you don't see her ever again. What they called a golden opportunity. He's looking for that guy, by the way. Yes? I'm afraid you have me at a disadvantage. Sotheby's a few months ago. Oh, you don't remember me? No, of course I do. How have you been? The astute reader has already guessed that both Trilby and the previous meeting were utter fiction. I had spent some time studying Chahal's movements and habits. He was by all accounts absent-minded, and that was something I could use. "I'm well, thanks. I was hoping I'd run into you. I've heard interesting things about the items you're showcasing here. You remember I do freelance scouting for some wealthy collectors?" Yes. A client of mine has expressed an interest in relics from Defoe Manor in Buckinghamshire. It's been on my back for a while about it. Between you and me, he seems pretty obsessed. What remained of Professor Chahal's suspicion melted away from his expression as the opportunity to make money entered the conversation. I'm sure I wouldn't want to damage your professional status. Would you like to come up to my room for drinks? Oh, I don't want to impose. Please, follow me. We should meet the Irish chick now. Yeah, there she is. Oh, let me introduce you. Personal assistant Siobhan. Most of my excursions. Siobhan, this is Mr. Railby, an old acquaintance. He's looking for information on Defoe Manor artifacts. Oh, really? Him and half the people we meet. I can't do an Irish accent, so I'm not going to try. Never underestimate the attraction of mystery, my dear. Please, take a seat, Terry. I'll be right with you. So, interested in ghost stories. The girl struck me as a forceful personality. I gave the matter some thought before replying. Not really, I'm just scouting on behalf of a client, like I told the professor. You know, it's strange to see someone as young as you in the antiques trade. Come to think of it, I thought only old men dressed like that. That's very insulting. No offence. None taken. I didn't catch your last name. It's O'Malley. Siobhan O'Malley. Couldn't be more Irish if it tried, could it? Now then, what shall we talk about? Here we go, more inputting. He's willing to discuss. Okay, so ask Ed, which is that guy's first name, about if I've left the tutorial on because last time I forgot all the commands. Came into possession of artifacts from Defoe Manor. Yes, indeed, it was astonishing to me that such artifacts existed at all. The whole place burned to the ground. Did you hear about the Defoe Manor incident? I was experiencing a sick feeling that I had not felt for quite some time. Last I felt it. The last I had felt it was while standing at the gates of another country mansion, not long after Defoe Manor, preparing to break in. Recalling those 5 wretched days churned my stomach with fear, turning what had once been the joy of thievery into an exercise in anxiety. Discussing it brought that feeling back, the act of feigning ignorance, while visions of welding masks and machetes flooded my mind's eye, worsened them. Terrible at reading things out. Heard something about it on the news. That Taylor woman died. A lot of silly talk about the paranormal has been abound, so the true facts are near unreachable. The point is, was that enterprising fellows picked up 1 or 2 undamaged items from the ruins. Furniture, books, an ugly little tribal figurine. And they took them off their hands purely out of curiosity, of course. So were there any particular items your client is interested in? I think this is what you ask. Tell me, does a huge man in a welding mask and a leather apron mean anything to you? Not really, should it? Never mind. Small African figurine that the client wants me to look into. Resembling a rather ugly tribal god. That's not very nice. That old thing, honestly, despite its age, it's virtually bleh. Trip over my own words again. You can probably read that anyway. Paranormal. The idol features some of the more unlikely accounts of the Defoe Manor incident. Well, I don't suppose I should ask questions if this man of yours wants to take it off my hands. Shit starts happening soon. It's being kept in the hotel safe. Perhaps we can work at a deal after the fair. I'd intended to display it with the other Defoe artifacts. Inwardly, I just wanted to get this mission completed as fast as possible, but I didn't want to risk suspicion or giving off the wrong impression. That will be fine. Just out of interest, what else have you picked up from the mansion? Odds and ends, basically. Some silverware and ceramics, most of a burnt rocking chair. And the painting, of course. Painting? A landscape from a wall in the mansion's lounge. Of little artistic value, but the artist features prominently in Defoe Manor's colourful history. I remember that painting. Written by Matthew Defoe. Or painted by Matthew Defoe, sorry. Yeah, it's in the lobby. Instantly I recalled the sick feeling I had felt in the lobby. I had seen the painting, but had paid it little heed. Oh, are you all right, Mr. Railby? You've gone rather pale. What? I'm sorry, I was just distracted by my thoughts for a moment. Lost in history, hey? Something like that. Mr. Tallman. What the hell was what? You were just sitting there and you went all stiff like you'd seen a ghost. You didn't see it? See what, Mr. Railby? I'm sorry, I have to go. Something's wrong. Oh well, we won't keep you then. We'll see you later then, maybe. Ah, you poor fellow, Trilby, you're losing your marbles. My head was spinning and a sudden nausea churned in my gut. The world seemed to be pulsating, the corners of the room wavering like a heat haze. Mr. Tallman just walked away. You may say I imagined these things, and I thought that must have been the case. Was I going out of my mind? Was the hotel really changing into some nightmarish twin? Was I the only one who could see it? If I was hallucinating, it was too complex. The half-wooden floor beneath my feet felt real enough. The horrendous stench of rotting flesh that reached my nostrils could not have been conjured by my imagination. I decided I had to find John Defoe's idol as soon as possible. If not that, then at least the painting Chowhall had mentioned. I was convinced some connection lay between Defoe Manor and this sudden madness. You can probably hear that annoying whispering. Which, if I had the commentary on, Yahtzee would be telling us right now that he actually created that with his own voice. There's a little glitch on the stairs where you can't actually walk straight up and you have to do that, otherwise you won't reach the top. So then I can't actually bloody go. Aha! That's a puzzle for later on. We'll come back to that. First attempt at doing proper game commentary. Probably not very entertaining. I think I've got another bloody cold coming. This is not good. Ooh. Lovely corpse. The body was that of a young, muscular man, I hazarded, and was wearing some kind of old-fashioned military uniform, complete with blue tunic and riding boots. More to the point, his head was missing, and his hands were worn down to bloody wads of flesh and bone. Lovely. Just what you need to hear. And there should be some paper on the floor, so... They appeared to be entries from a diary. July 18th. Felicia and I took shelter from the storm in a decrepit old hotel in the forest. It seems to be completely deserted, so we bedded down on the floor of the lobby for the night. It is so peaceful here, the noise of the storm seems far away. Following day, the 19th, exploring the hotel, it has become increasingly clear that the place is not as innocent as it first seemed. We found ancient corpses and evidence of terrible deeds in several of the rooms. The storm has cleared, and we intend to leave as soon as possible. The next day, I am certain now that devilry is at work. Every path we take through the forest brings us back to the hotel. We spent a whole day trying routes to no avail. Felicia keeps talking of a dream she fancies she saw in the hotel kitchen last night. Oh, a demon! I couldn't read that properly. Keeps talking of a demon she fancies she saw in the hotel kitchen last night. July 21st, it's the day after that one. Felicia is dead. I was too late to help her. I saw her murderer just as she did. Perhaps I will be next. I'm beginning to understand. Following day, the murderous figure in black, the one whose body is savagely stretched into a mockery of form, is not the architect of this nightmare. Rather, this is the work of that hideous lord of the Forbidden Land. Gods forgive me. The next day, I built a shrine to my captor in the lobby in an attempt to appease it. Nothing has changed. I have no more food. The horror is starting to affect my mind. I am certain my mind is going. I imagined for a moment that the hotel changed and had become finely decorated and welcoming as it must have once been in the past. I blinked and it returned to its normal hateful self. The next few pages were sprinkled with blood, obscuring some of the text. Right, let me see if I can decipher this. Right, what is his relationship to that disgusting beast? Is he a servant or prisoner? Sometimes he acts alone, sometimes at the behest of higher power. What does he want from me? And this is the last day. I think the last page anyway. He is after me now. I think I must have done something wrong. And then the last page, it hurts. That was the last readable entry. I decided not to take them with me. They were covered in blood and all stuck together. That's a little bit of reading there. Oh, lovely. The lobby too had been tainted, and the painting I sought was absent. Presumably it only existed in the hotel's normal form. If that was the case, I needed to find a way back there. What a spell the hallucination if this truly was all in my mind. At this stage I was beginning to wonder if this reality was all John Defoe's doing. It didn't seem his style somehow. But what other evil could possibly be the culprit? I love this bit. All the lovely gruesome stuff. Someone had been tied down to the altar, flayed, and had their innards removed. By the looks of the horrible claw marks and broken fingernails, they had been alive at least part way into the procedure. The office door was locked. And this, I'm guessing, is a safe. The door appeared to be jammed shut. This came as something of a relief. He doesn't want to open it because of the blood. We'll come back for the idol later, I think. We come back and we find it and it's not there. Sorry, that's a spoiler. But yeah, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm so glad Tall Man isn't here. It scares the crap out of me. Aha! Picture a Tall Man on the wall though. Ah, a pair of pliers. He took the pliers with him. We're going to need those later, actually. Oh no, we're going to need them here, actually. Universally hidden under tablecloths, yellowed and stinking vase, there was a plate of rancid meat on the centre one, adding its evil stench to the air. I tore off a lump of meat to take with me. If I came up against anything hostile and carnivorous in this place, it would help to have something other than myself to offer it. Right, the kitchen door's locked. Comes open later on. Oh, lovely. I should probably be more specific. Here's pliers on nails then. Tall Man! A lot of people get stuck on this bit. That there is a counter. A lot of people got stuck on this one. I didn't. I don't know. Oh, let's see if I can actually fucking do this. Envelope. There we go, I actually bloody spelt it right. Baffled, I took the envelope. It was strangely bulky and tore it open. A white pill bottle and a note fell out into my hand. I here enclosed the note with this report. Trilby, if you're reading this, then you too have seen the hotel change. At present, I have no idea if the alternative hotel is part of the ethereal realm or some kind of construct, a pocket dimension. There is a definite correlation between one's level of agitation and one's tendency to reality shift. Fear is your enemy. It leaves you shining like a beacon for whatever evil brought us to this place. Closes a bottle of tranquilizers from my personal first aid kit. When you find yourself shifting to the other place, take a pill and try to calm down. The real hotel will return. Do not let it concern you. I'm researching the phenomenon. Your task is to find Defoe. Good luck, Agent Lincoln. Still sure I'm pronouncing his name wrong. Lincoln's letter raised more questions than it answered. I pocketed the pill bottle. Okay. Let's take one. Oh. Sorry, I skipped the bit where he said where he put the pill in his mouth. Apologise for that. You can read that bit yourself, and then everything's back to normal. There we go. This will be the first flashback. Check painting. I was frankly astonished that Matthew Defoe's painting had survived the immolation of Defoe Manor. As I stared at it, it seemed that the surrounding room began to blur until only the painting was in focus. I fancied I could hear the creaks and whispers of Defoe Manor's hallways. I felt a bizarre urge to reach out and touch the painting. As I stepped closer, I could feel sound becoming muffled and my head spinning, as if I were about to faint. My hand, as if pulled by an invisible string, reached out towards the clumsy brushstrokes. Flashback. Doesn't love that kind of stuff. Matthew Defoe is 15 years old today. He is excitedly putting the finishing touches to a painting which his father commented on encouragingly. The first time he has ever been supportive of Matthew's artistic leanings. Matthew is now convinced that his father is lifting from the mysterious depression that has plagued him for as long as either of them can remember. Now he intends to make the painting absolutely perfect before showing it again. Knock knock. Master Matthew? Sir Roderick has requested your presence in the trophy room. Thank you, James. Oh, why are all butlers James? Be so good to inform him that I will now be retiring for the night. Very good, James. Ah, there you are, boy. Let me introduce my son, Matthew. Hello. This is my friend, Mr. Smythe. He's an expert on African travel, whatever. I bloody missed it. Anyway. I'm talking about the little idol, which you can probably see sitting on the table. Regrettably, Belinda is no longer with us. Oh, I'm sorry. Quite all right. You couldn't have known. She succumbed to illness shortly after Matthew was born. I finished the painting I showed you, Father. Oh, good. I'm glad you asked. He's asking him how he got hold of the idol. His travels in the Dark Continent. I take it that means Africa. The Dark Continent. I don't know. Perhaps I'm assuming too much. Oh, so he actually went on that ship. Oh, and found the little idol and brought it back. I'm going to read out all the dialogue. Don't want to offend anyone watching because there's two words said in a sentence that we used, all the time back when this little cutscene was set. People find them offensive now. So I'm not going to read that scene out. Fetch the brandy from the kitchen and some glasses. Yes, Father. There we go. Notice there's not much music on the actual flashbacks unless needed. Oh look, and I see a machete hanging on the wall and a bloody apron on the table. Oops. Still wondering why the kitchen is on the same floor as the rest of the living space. If you played the original 5 Days of Strange, you'll know that. I mean, the point I'm making is in those days, usually, the servants lived a floor below, like the butler and such, and that's where the kitchen was. Can't remember, but I think take bottle. There we go. Matthew took the brandy bottle and a pair of appropriate glasses. Oh, bang bang. Hello. You haven't tried to speak to me in a while. Bang bang. I did another painting today. I showed it to Father and he said it was promising. I keep trying to tell him about you, but he never listens. You haven't knocked for me in so long, I was beginning to wonder. Bang bang. Hey, do you want to see my painting? Bang bang. I'm just not sure how I'd get it through the door. I'm putting the painting under your door, okay? Just give it back when you're finished. How dare you, sir! You intrude on my hospitality and insult my judgment? That's Father. Get out of my house, you worm. I'd better see what's the matter. Father? Oh, it's you. Father, what happened? I heard shouting. That old fool told me some rubbish about my figurine. Said the only tribe it could have come from all died in slavery years ago. Actually had the nerve to accuse me of buying from a forger. I'm sorry, Father. What are you apologising for? Where's that damn brandy? I've got it here. Give it to me. I'll go back to my room, Father. Show me your painting. Father, you said you had a painting. Show it to me. I can't, Father. And why not? Because... Come on, why not? Out with it. As I gave it to the boy behind the door. I'm still wondering how he knows it's a boy behind the door. Because it never speaks, just bang bang. Go back to your room, boy. There we go. An hour of silence passed and Matthew grew concerned about his father. Strangely, the most disturbing thing had been Sir Roderick's reaction to Matthew mentioning the boy behind the door. Fast raising this had usually provoked a violent rage or an instant flat denial. Matthew wondered what sort of anxiety was going through his father's mind. Smash! What was that? Father, what are you doing? Oh, it's auto doing. Oh, it's not anymore. He longed to see what was behind this door his entire life, but now, given the chance, he was struck with fear. He peered cautiously through and saw a set of rough stone steps leading down to some kind of basement. Here we go. I should have done this the moment you came into this world, demon child. May God forgive me for having a part in your creation. Boo. Ah! My apologies, dear boy, but I couldn't resist. You looked so lost in that painting, I don't think you even saw me come in. What? I what? Oh, everything's fine, he goes. For a moment there, I thought I saw... Never mind. Siobhan and I were talking about you after you ran out of the room. I said you seemed like something was making you terribly anxious. Frankly, I think that's still the case. I'm okay, really I am. Well, if you're sure. I was certain my mind was not playing tricks on me. I had been back there, in Defoe Manor, looking through the eyes of Matthew Defoe. I had seen the events that had created John Defoe, so his death at the hands of Sir Roderick, that terrible violent end that would bring him back as that awful Wraith. Somehow, seeing that event, it was clear to me that there was more to this than the ghost of one retarded youth. There had been something very wrong about that idol, even before it was used to destroy John Defoe. A name stood out in my memory, the Sea Angel, the name of the ship on which Sir Roderick had found the figurine. I now had a lead. We don't get to ask him. He does it himself. Ask him about the Sea Angel. It's an old wooden chisel among the Defoe Manor artifacts. The words Sea Angel are carved into the handle. On display in the convention hall next to the dining room. And the bog. It's next to the bog as well. Thank you for your help. No problem. Take care of yourself. Oh wait, there's some paper there. It was a page from a religious book I wasn't familiar with. I here enclose it with these notes. Victim 5, the child. The fifth man who desired judgment was the child whose father held the carving of the slave. The prince came to him and was at once rightly pleased with what he found, for the house of the child and his father already knew well the name of the king. And as the prince watched, the child was thrown down by his father and broken with the wood of the prince's soul. But as the child's body, mind, and soul began to drift apart, the prince held them together, and he said, "You are the child, and to you I grant power, for I see in you the potential that will grant my father, the king, his greatest wish. You shall be not of the land of technology, nor of the realm of magic, but of both, and thus you shall form the bridge. And across the bridge the king shall come to bring his message to the men of technology. Through you, child, the bridge will come. And thus I name you the bridge keeper." And the prince touched the child, and he was the bridge keeper. And his three aspects were granted power, so that his soul would join with the prince's soul in the wood of the tree. And the bridge keeper rose up and threw down his father, threw down his brother, and truly did they know the name of the king. And into the house of his father went the body and the mind of the bridge keeper. Wow. Okay, on here there should be some matches. Oh, be nice if I remember to put spaces when I type. Only one match left. I took it anyway. Sorry about the cough. Okay, so this is the room that we need to get into, but it's probably got a deadbolt on the other side. Let's see the reason why we need those matches soon. Actually, if you go in here, as long as it doesn't go into that other realm. Yeah, there we go. For once I'd like to crack a safe that actually contains something. Is that too much to ask? Nope. I actually like this input idea. It's actually quite different from the usual point and click. Very little work was done here. Oh. He wasn't close enough to the door. There we go. It's lovely in red. Well, at least it won't matter when the blood gets everywhere. Actually, remember what one we have to go out. I think it's this one. Aha, there we go, there's the fire alarm. That one with the door? Yeah. We have to stand directly under it. Whee! Tall man. Click. The fire escape door's open. Oh, balls. It's gone all creepy again. I hate it when it happens out here. Because you don't see it coming. There's lovely blood everywhere. Instant. Ow. Spelling. Take crowbar. A crowbar. Otherwise known as a nail bar or a tire iron, I believe. So we had a crowbar, now we can get into that other room. I'm gonna try and play this in one sitting, hopefully. Okay. I'm just looking at the time. Completely forgot for a second there what I was doing. That's what I'm doing. Oh, one sec. That's better. How to get it into this world. It hurts. Oh, why are you saying it hurts? I've forgotten to do something. For God's sake. I hate that it does that. Am I close enough? It hurts, it hurts, it hurts. I fucking hate him when he does this. So this is the next fucking bit. Ah. Really? Huh. I think I've just got sadly confused. Excuse me one moment, I wish I could reach in and slap you up Trilby across the head. This is how you fucking solve this. This is how you solve this puzzle. Use crowbar on... For fuck's sake! I wrote that 3 fucking times, Yahtzee. I mean Trilby. Actually, yeah, Yahtzee, because he designed this game. Bloody hell! As I had suspected, the stress proved too much for the ancient crowbar, which was bent to uselessness. I discarded it. Bastard. Sorry. I keep doing that, don't I? Don't know why you need this bottle. Something told me it's kind of useful. It doesn't. Right, we need the chisel, which I think is there on the table. So, check table. Rusted at the most. Aha, I spotted the chisel the professor had mentioned next to the pile of books on the north table. check chisel. It was a very old make of chisel, rusted and probably very fragile. As the professor had described, the words Sea Angel were carved into the handle. Again I found myself inexplicably drawn to the artifact. My fingertips were already extending towards it as if drawn by a magnet. A loud buzzing played in my ears, and my vision began to cloud as I reached over and laid my hand upon the tool. Somewhere in the Atlantic, July 25th, AD 1789. I can't even pronounce that name. Mabota, I think that says, or is it Mabota? I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Had been a great warrior. In battle his skill was thought unmatched in all of Africa. He had had respect, a great house, a slew of beautiful women, children to make any father proud. But through just one mistake it had all been torn away. His mistake was in standing by his beloved king when the invaders from the coastal kingdom arrived. Now his great house was ruined, his women raped, his children murdered. And for Mabota, the worst fate of all. Sold to the white men in exchange for weapons, shackled with his fellows in the hold of a slave ship. 'Twas strong, perhaps he could have lived as a slave, but then came the sickness, a simple fever no doubt, to be gone the next day, but the white men took no chances and threw him overboard. For days Mabota drifted, waiting for the black cloud of death to descend. Having lost everything, he now sought only the embrace of the deep, a welcome end to a life betrayed. But the end did not come then. He gets rescued. Coming round, Captain. In case you couldn't read that little bit there. Voices unfamiliar, speaking an unfamiliar language. Naruto was suddenly terrified that the slavers must have returned, but he was as weak as a newborn and could not move or speak. Looks like we picked him up just in time. Don't know how long he's been drifting out here, but he can't have lasted much longer. Good Lord! Look upon it, men. The greatest evidence we have of humanity's inherent evil. Never forget that, men. Sailors such as you or I did this, left this poor wretch to die. Slavers aren't sailors like you or I, Captain. No. I don't know who those devils can. I don't know how those devils can have the audacity to still call themselves human. Today there is no pride in being an Englishman. Find our new passenger some quarters. Make him comfortable. Passenger, Captain? Every innocent who sets foot on my ship is a free man. There's something about that you find questionable? Not at all, Captain. No, these were not the slavers. The ship was different, less crowded with terrified black faces. And if you find that on PC, I don't care. I'm just reading it out. There was anger in the voices of the white men, but not directed at Mabota. Still frightened, but somewhat reassured, he passed out, poor fellow. Days passed, and Mabota's health was restored. To have been rescued by the ship of these good white men had been a fantastic stroke of good fortune. He decided that it had been the will of the gods that he should survive, and that proper thanks would be in order. An idol, that was the answer. If he could just find some suitable wood and a sharp blade, he would carve the finest idol of his life. And if you look on the side of that crate, let me just move him out the side, it says O'Malley Shipping, which was Siobhan, the Irish chick from earlier, was her last name. A large crate was sitting in the shaft of light, with letters stenciled on that Mabota did not recognize. It was cheaply made with poor quality nails, and some of the boards looked ready to fall off. The wood of the crate seemed ideal for Mabuta's intentions. He decided to leave it here until he was ready to carve the idol. Actually, you can't speak to him, can I? I don't think you can talk to them, actually. Let's have a look around. Aha, this is the guy with the chisel. Sorry, I pressed tab by accident. Alright there, laddie. Oh, he's Scottish by the sounds of it. Oh, I see you want something to carve with. Here. The sailor handed Mabuto a sharp, almost brand new workman's chisel. Just bring it back when you're finished with it. With the chisel and the wood of the crate, Mabuto could finally create his offering. After several hours, Mabuto was very pleased with the result, a fine rendition of his kingdom's god of fertility and good fortune. All that remained now was to return the chisel. And look, there's the idol. In the ship, just like Sir Roderick said it was. Tall man swabbing the deck with people's entrails. Oh, right in the face. Vision faded and I felt myself being hurled forcibly back into the present day. That tall thin creature, that black-clad ghoul. What was its significance to my predicament? Why did it appear again and again throughout history to spread death and horror? There was no connection to the idol's shape or Mabuto's tribal deities. The tall man was no fertility god. He must have been connected to the wood of that crate somehow. There had been a name on the crate. Mabuto hadn't been able to read it, but I, looking through his eyes, had. O'Malley Shipping. Could the owner have been an ancestor of Siobhan? It was a flimsy possibility, but at that point my only lead, I resolved to discuss this with Siobhan at the earliest opportunity. I recognized it as being from the same source as the one under the painting in the lobby. Victim 4, the slave. Actually, I'm not going to read this out. You can read this yourselves. I'll leave it up long enough. Ah. Everyone's vanished. Let's see if I can remember how to spell the name. Going to get a drink. Ah, any of the hotel staff anywhere? I'm afraid not. Perhaps they all go to bed early in these parts. Do you know anything about the history of your family? Wouldn't be much of a history student if I didn't now, would I? I'm researching my family's tree as part of my diploma. That's ideal. An odd question, but trust me when I say it's important. Did your family run a shipping company in the late 18th century? That is an odd question. I remember reading something about a Marley shipping. I'd have to check my notes. I left them in my book bag. Can you meet me in my room in about 5 minutes? I'm in 2A next to a bed. Certainly. I'll see you there then. There's a piece of paper on the door. At least everything stayed pleasant for a bit. On the second floor, I think. You have the papers? Must you always get right down to business? Come, sit down. Let's talk. Oh dear. She's going to hit on your Trilby. How are you feeling? We were a little worried about you. I have these moments of illness. What do you want to talk about? The faux manner. Oh. It kind of interests me. I was really into the media coverage of the incident at the time. This client of yours, the one who wants the figurine, what does he know about it? Well, he has an interest in the occult, and there's some nonsense story going around about it. Something about an idol being a vessel for an evil ghost. I wasn't really paying attention. Really? I don't remember hearing about that in any other reports. No, you wouldn't have. It wasn't widely. Have you heard the story that Trilby was in the house? I could feel cold sweat drooling down my spine. Every fibre of my being was concentrating on not giving any outward signs of alarm as Siobhan spoke of my secret name with wide-eyed enthusiasm. No one believes it, but Simone Taylor insisted it was true right until, well, you know. She says he saved her from the house. I think that's a little far-fetched. That's exactly what the bed says. He says a ghost is one thing, but throwing Trilby into it just makes it seem silly. Truth be told, I don't think the bed believes in Trilby any more than he does ghosts. He's so grounded in reality. A sensible attitude. Have you always been an antique dealer? Uh-oh. Someone please, I came here to talk about... Let me put that another way. Have you ever been an antique dealer? I knew it. That outfit, the hat, Terry Railby. You're him. You were in Defoe Manor. Now you've come here to finish off the ghost. Spawn. I always knew there was something else. Well, there was something better, more glamorous, just below the surface. And glamorous. I won't call it glamorous exactly. You take me with you. Listen to me. There is nothing glamorous about what I do. I live in the shadows that come to consume me every single day. If you see this any further, you're going to walk straight into one. What are you talking about? It's really dangerous in the hotel. I don't know what it is, but... Oh god, no! Run away, Trilby. Knocked her out. Siobhan was out cold but uninjured. She would probably be safe on her bed while I continued my investigation. Probably wouldn't mind. Textbooks, a half-empty water bottle, and a large folder marked O'Malley family history. This, I decided, was my quarry. I flipped through the pages until I reached the information relevant to the 18th century and read my discoveries aloud. The Liverpool-based O'Malley Shipping Company ran for 3 generations of the family in the mid to late 18th century until the loss of one of their clippers drove the company to bankruptcy. The owner at the time, Jacob O'Malley, placed the blame somewhat irrationally on a shipping freight which family legend alleged to be haunted, and that had been on the ship at the time. There are numerous tales of bizarre events surrounding the crate, and the story of the crate's origin is no less mysterious. It goes that a strange young man came to a carpenter in the Liverpool dockyards with a very expensive-looking harpsichord, which he insisted be smashed up and the wood used for whatever purpose the carpenter desired. He refused to leave until the instrument had been utterly broken into its component parts onto his eyes, and the wood sent to be made into crates for O'Malley shipping. When pressed for his name, the man identified himself as one Jack Fraser. Friend of Jack Fraser, July 28th, AD 1778. My favourite scene. It's what travelling to be wasting your father's money on now, Jack. What does it look like? It looks like a original harpsichord, actually, in the Flemish style. Quite old, quite expensive. But I should be grateful that something is distracting you from the occult for once. I fear you may be speaking too soon, my friend. Oh God, I should have known. You and your silly obsession. What devilry inhabits this magnificent instrument? As a whole is for the most part untamed by the ethereal realm. But its keys are what spark my interest. Carved from centuries-old English oak. That's the interesting part. Not be disheartened by that sharp tongue of yours. Going through many incarnations before being incorporated into this device. Items of furniture, building material, in fact, just over 200 years ago, it was part of a wall. Or of a certain inn. Oh, in Wales called the Unicorn. The way you have been obsessing quite heartily over it of late. And filling your head with rubbish about ghosts and demons. I count myself very lucky to have it tracked down, even a small piece of that whole story. I've already told you some of the wonderful stories attached to it. And this instrument has had its fair share of mysterious happenings. The usual batch of strange noises, sudden madness, and inexplicable death. See sense, my friend. This curiosity of yours for all things ungodly has no doubt already befouled your immortal soul. You are a fine fellow, Wilbur, but you have not a drop of romance in your body. Now stop browbeating me for my inquiring mind and let us take dinner. I'd just like to point out that those two are actually lovers, and there's my favourite bit of music. Bit of harpsichord. That night Jack was stirred from his bed by the sound of music emanating from his new instrument. His first thought was anger, mostly because the harpsichord was an antique, never intended to be played. And then he listened to the haunting melancholy tune and felt his stomach roll inexplicably with fear. "Who's down there?" "Wilbur, is that you?" There's a double bed there. Should have been the first clue that they were lovers, and yes, he actually said it himself. He took the gun with him to confront the intruder. Anyone who knows me on DeviantArt will know I have this little scene with my icon on there. Jack could not take a step further because he realised with a lurch that he recognised the dark figure that sat at the key. He had read of the strange incident that reoccurred frequently in stories surrounding the Unicorn Inn and the objects that were later constructed from its wood. And he knew with absolute certainty that the tall man would destroy him were he not destroyed first. "You won't take me, demon." He actually shot his lover. "Wilbur?" "No. Oh God, no. But I could have sworn." "I know you. Have. Please forgive me, Your Majesty, for my transgressions. I am a worthless cradle fool, not worth a second of your precious time. I beg you spare me. I will redeem myself for my offence. I will be yours for love, my body, mind, and soul." "Thank you, my lord. Thank you." Identified himself as one Jack Freyhorn. This may well have been the same Jack Freyhorn who went on to form a bizarre religious cult. A depraved group of paganistic worshippers who were spoken of which with much derision by conventional society. With my latest flashback, my knowledge of the history of the cursed wood gained another step. Sorry about that, starting again. Bad connection. Okay, so where was we? Was reading this. Before the crate, it had been a harpsichord, and sometime before the harpsichord it had been part of some kind of hostelry in Wales. An inn called the Unicorn. Why did that ring a bell somewhere in my recent memory? Definitely seen something in the Clambrunwen Hotel that was linked to the place, but where? Siobhan? How did she get past him? Victim 3, Freyhorn. Or Freehorn, depends how you pronounce that. The third man who desired judgment was Freyhorn, who had bought from those who made luxuries with the wood that was the prince's soul. The prince came and struck down the lover of Freyhorn, and Freyhorn knew the name of the king. And Freyhorn said, "I know you now, O prince, who was the arrogant man, and I anticipate your wish, and I will devote myself to spreading the teachings you have brought me and the love of our king." And the prince was satisfied, and Freyhorn called all those who would listen, and they formed an order of blessed agonies that would work to redeem the follies of the men of technology. Now what we're going to look for next is there should be another thing in that room where all the antiques are. There should be a shield. It should have a unicorn on it. That'll give us the next cutscene. Bollocks. I took another pill and waited for the anxiety to lift, but it did not. To my unending concern, I realized that the decay of the alternate hotel had spread either to me or the pills, and they no longer worked. I had to find a way to restore their effect, or at least another method of calming myself. There we go. From somewhere to the west, I heard the familiar sound of a door being unlocked. The kitchen. Here's the bit I died on last time. Now I want to ask, did anybody see what he flickered? It was Lechman, but he flickered into the tall man for only a split second, and then back to himself and vanished. He actually flickered it into the tall man's form. I wonder if anyone else noticed that. I don't think there's anything in this room to pick up. No, I don't think there is. Ah, yes, the insect. Right, use meat. Okay, so the puddle of water here. It's almost as if the water was drawing me to it. Not like a scrabbling thing in my mind, like a chisel or painting, but more like a beckoning siren. There we go. That wine bottle, I think we need that, don't we? Oh, so no reason to take it. I've got to come back for that later then. Oh, my eyes. Sorry about that. Oh, bloody bit of dust flew right in my eye. Ah, it's you. What have you finished your form? I was about to ask you that. What did you do to the girl? I hope you don't intend to seduce her away from my service. I need you to understand. You and I and Siobhan are all in critical danger. Something evil in the hotel. It's closing in fast. There is absolutely nothing here. Please keep your fairy stories in the playroom where they belong. Alright, I need to ask him first. At an inn called the Unicorn. Ah, you noticed my shingle. A shingle. It's a type of crest, I think. That's what it looks like. I've never heard it called a shingle, of course. It dates back. He's just explaining it dates back to the Elizabethan period. So that would be 1500 and something? Or would that be a little bit later? Not too sure. We'll find out in the cutscene. The flashback scene, I would imagine. There it is. An ancient shingle from an establishment called the Unicorn was leaning against one of the tables. Could this have been the same unicorn mentioned by Jack Frayhorn? The buzzing in my ears that manifested as I inspected the shingle indicated so. pressed his fingers to it, however. The sign seemed to, backing like a hologram, seemed to draw closer until my vision was filled with its wood grain and mediocre brushstrokes. Vaguely detect the professor speaking to me on the very edge of hearing, but by the time I realised it, I was awake. Somewhere in Wales, July 28th, AD 1581 Negro. Owen Somerset, familiar name. Travel merchant, unspoken to his wife and family in London, having concluded some business dealings in Cherry I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Read that yourselves. Not very good at my Welsh. Caught suddenly by a summer storm, he spied an inn by the side of the road, and marvelled at his good fortune. Faith, 'tis an evil storm that blights the sky tonight. Aye. Why is he saying aye then, if he's meant to be Welsh? Do Welsh people say aye? Aye, perhaps. Oh, sorry, I skipped a bit of thing there. I pressed the button. Oh. Good evening, sir. Would it be possible to secure a bed for the night? Be a wiser man than I. Go from this place and never return. What? There is a curse upon this inn. I will not have an innocent doomed to the same fate as I. Ask about curse? Oh, ask barman about curse. I have plenty of gold to pay for my board. Devil cannot be bought off, my friend. What devil? What is the nature of this curse? This inn was built by my father 20 years ago. From the wood of a fallen oak he stumbled upon an island north of here. He noticed human bones scattered around it, but did not heed them. This inn has been a curse on our bloodline ever since. Madness and death claims those who stay here. This time last year it claimed my father. Soon I am certain it shall claim me. I keep doing it, don't I? Ask the barman. So why do you remain? Do not believe in fleeing from the mistakes of the past. The Almighty wills that my family must pay for our errors, and this I accept. But I would not see another suffer for our sins. Leave now, before the shadows take you. So I have little patience for fables, and even less for riding out of sundown in the middle of a downpour. Give me a room, and I shall take the responsibility for my own well-being. You will insist? Not only will I insist, but I will pay whatever price you ask. Go then, take the upstairs room. But if you remain by morn, you shall pay nothing at all. Intending only to test the bed's softness, by his exhaustion he quickly succumbed to sleep. Early hours of the morning, something jolted Owen from his slumber. A piercing sound? No, a piercing smell. What in God's name? Oh God, it's him, the innkeeper. What kind of... who could have... Oh, right through the head. A tree on an island. On an island? This thing seemed a valid, if worrying, possibility. Besides that, it seemed I had no other leads, so what could I do? Determined not to let the trail end there. There were just a single clue. Trilby, I know you're following a trail. Go to the roof if you wish to proceed. Victim 2, the innkeeper. The second man who desired judgment was the innkeeper, who had brought the wood of the tree and built from it his house. The prince came to him and his guests, and he struck the innkeeper down, and the innkeeper knew the name of the king. The prince turned to the innkeeper's guests and said, You I shall not let live. Once before I have made this warning, and still my soul aches with what is done to the wood that is my soul, and I will spare no man who injures me in this way. And the innkeeper's guest knew the name of the king. So we need to go to the roof. I don't want to talk to you anymore. You're not going to get me a drink, you can shove off. So pleasant. I knew we had to come back for that bloody wine bottle. So the drunkard. Balls. Professor? Oh, where's he gone now? Right, and then we go back out. We'll come back. Come back later to the fun. Had any weird moments. How many bits have I got? I was sworn the other one was down here. Huh. Or, no, it's not down here, is it? Oh. Go away, I'm getting all turned around. Getting all turned around. Actually. Huh. Trying to remember where it is now. There's one. Got the one that was outside. Got the one that was in the office. Got the one that was sitting on the side of your desk, the counter thingy. The other one. Bloody can't remember where the other one is. There's 4 limbs and a head altogether that I've got to find. No business breaking into someone else's room. I think. If you look, we can't get out of the door. It's either stuck or locked, and if you try and... Seriously? Oh, fuck's sake. That was annoying, but anyway, I can't remember where the last piece is. So they're always in places that you've already been. It's not the last piece, but it's the other piece. As soon as this place goes all rank and scary again, we can go and find the head. I love his walking animation. You can never make good walking animations like that. Look at that. Ah, there he is. That's the head. I think we need to grab the head first and then we can find the final piece. Who, you skinny bastard? If you can do it so easily, so quickly, why won't you face me? Of a warped sense of humour, the porcelain head was sitting where Abed's old one had been. Lovely. Ugh. I can't remember if we stay in this world to find the... Yeah, we do. I think. Can't remember, but I think we have to stay in the dark world to find the last piece. If I remember correctly. Pretty sure it was down... What's that? His body is here, his soul is not. actually be. Actually, yeah, take her. Otherwise we can't get out onto the fire escape. I'm pretty sure it was down here. What the fuck? Whoa. Don't fucking do that, Yahtzee. I mean, Trilby. Scared the shit out of me, boy. It's not going to do it now, is it? Oh, I'm pretty sure you have to go down there in the dark world, and that's where the last bit is. I could be wrong, of course. Actually, let's try. Because I know you have to get the head before you can find the last limb, so to speak. Just can't remember where. Oh, all this faffing around. No, it's not here. Strange. Oh, we're back in the deathly, horrible world. This is lovely. Ah, Chazol written on the wall there. The name of the god that the prince works for. Let's try Yahtzee's room. Trilby. I keep calling him Yahtzee. Because he does resemble his maker. Oh, bloody hell. I think I remembered. Ah, there it is. It was in Yahtzee's room. Oh, we've got to go back into the dark world now. I haven't had any weird hallucinations yet. I'm a bit shocked about that. Last time I played this I got some really weird hallucinations. What kind of ridiculous locking mechanism is this? Climb Bronwyn Island, July 28th, 1501. Sturdy tree this. Took us dawn to dusk, but we finally have it down. I'm tired, Father. It was indeed clever of us to investigate this island, eh, boy? I have never seen such a gigantic oak, nor do I expect to again. Its wood shall keep us in the business of carpentry for years to come. Father, look at those stones. You think there was once a house here? It matters not. I wish you always look everywhere but at what matters. This is your father? Something troubling you, Father? Oh, poor guy's frightened. Look at the phone screen. He's a stone patrol man. During the vision. Trilby, Siobhan. Oh, thank God, I thought I was all alone. What happened to you? I don't know. After you knocked me out in my room, I woke up and everything was like this. The hotel's ruined, there's blood everywhere. I saw this horrible man. Tall, thin, long black coat. Do you know him? Enough to know you're lucky to be alive. He didn't notice me, so I ran up here to hide. How did you get past the doll? What doll? Oh, what the hell is going on? What happened if you followed me into the shadows? This isn't your fault. Take these. What are these? Tranquilizer pills. Take one. When you calm down, the hotel will go back to normal. Won't you need them? I don't need to run away anymore. What are you going? Where are you going? I know enough now, so I can find a way to end this. I was right. The cursed wood came from Clanbronwyn Island. What good is that knowledge to me now? Wait a second. I never got round to reading the letter I took from under that rock. Trilby, very close to ending this. Meet me in the hotel basement. I must show you my discovery. Linkman. The other page was another of those religious papers. The Book of Victims. Victim 1. The Woodcutter. The first of those against whom the prince sought vengeance was the woodcutter, who had held the axe that first felled the tree. The prince came to him and his son, and he struck the woodcutter down, and the woodcutter knew the name of the king. And the prince turned to the woodcutter's son, and he said, You I shall let live, for you are young and are of the innocent, and that you may go among your people and tell them of what I will wrought. And the woodcutter's son fled and told all of what he had seen, but the men of technology are arrogant, and his words were unheeded. Heading to the basement. This is right near the end of the game as well, everyone. So I think I've sort of managed it to get through it in a decent amount of time. Last time I died before I had a chance to get through it. Which is a good point, actually. What would save? go Yahtzee. This was it, I was certain. The remains of a tree that Boyle and her father cut down. Its wood being later used to construct an inn, a harpsichord, a shipping crate, and an idol. I could feel that same scrabbling in my mind that I had felt just before all of my visions. This time it was the stump itself that seemed to be beckoning me closer. And the final flashback. Climb Bronwyn Peninsula, July 28th, 55 BC. This is way back. Cabadath, a Celtic druid, awaits the return of his friend and colleague, Galvin, who brings news of the invasion of Edilisi by the Roman... I'm no good at Roman names. Suetonius Paulinus. I think that's how you pronounce that. Having fallen out of favour with his fellows for certain radical beliefs and activities, Cabadath lives in solitude in this remote forest clearing, and prefers not to travel himself. Cabadath, Galden, you bring news? The foreigners have landed. They could not be deterred by our sorcery. All is lost. Oh? Certain are you? And making their way across the land, eliminating resistance. Even you out here will be brought down within days. I'm sorry, Cabadath. And the great druids of Eglisi bow so easily to this brash foreign power? Do not hang your head yet, my friend. Perhaps the activities for which I was ostracized could yet spell an answer. What are you talking about? You know of my dealings with the ethereal realm. I know what you claim. There exists some otherworldly territory populated by demons and creatures of magic. And that you, Cabadath, can somehow commune with these creatures. Come inside and I shall explain. Ah, Cabadath, what is this madness? In my dealings with the ethereal realm I have learned of many powerful demons and elementals. But there is one spoken of, only reluctantly, a beast possessing of awesome power. You plan to summon a demon? The most terrible of them all, who strikes fear into even the most whatever creatures I spoke with. A pain elemental, indeed the only pain elemental, ruler of a desolate wasteland where none venture, an invulnerable, hugely potent beast that feeds on the agony of others. And today is his day, the day when the boundaries between the realms weaken and he glimpses our world. To bring him through at that point should be simple. Even if you could conjure such a thing, how would you have it defend our land? I have much knowledge in the ways of magic. With the correct bindings, any demon can be forced to my will. I completed the preparations while I waited for your return. All that remains is the summoning. Cabadath, it pains me to see you build your hopes on such nonsense. Be silent and watch. Oh, poor fella. You shall see yon nonsense soon enough. In this hall of death and by the light of Belenus' gift, I summon you. I bring you gifts to mark your path. I feed you with pain. I call you with madness. I summon you with the greatest loss. And I bind you by your true name, Chazol. By the gods! I've reached out to you through the void, Chazol. I command you by your true name. Show yourself. Cabadath, please stop this. Show yourself. Oh, it's huge. I can command it. He's gotcha. No, he's far more powerful than I thought. Garden, help me. He just leaves him. Garden, I beg you, don't let it take me alive. Chazot, of course, has no use for meat. It feeds on pain. It does not kill its prisoners. Cabadas' agony was a particularly rare morsel, and Chazot ensured it would last. His soul was placed inside an oak sapling on the site of his old home, to grant his body immortality. For 5 centuries, as the tree grew, he knew torment beyond even his most depraved imaginings. By then his body was wrapped and his mind long fallen into soulless dementia. He was chose utterly and completely his slave. Ah, we finally know the truth. Oh, she didn't go. Typical. Oh, she's found the professor then. Oh, what is this place? She's asked a lot of questions. It's the vessel for the soul of the tall man. The acolyte of Chazot. Linkman. Nice to see a friendly face. Amazing, isn't it? Of all the things Sir Roderick could have to murder his son, he chose that idol. Placing the soul of John Defoe into the wood alongside Cabadas. Infusing the poor retard with Chazot's magic, allowing him to come back infinitely more powerful than before. Certainly pretty lucky. Lucky? Chazot had to wait 2,000 years for that opportunity. The opportunity to blend magic and science in a single entity. The opportunity to create the bridge. What are you talking about? Careful, Trilby. The bridge between the realms, over which Chazot would cross into our universe and purify mankind. Orders waited 200 years for the prophecy to be fulfilled. You're not with the Ministry of Occultism. You only just realised. Jack Freehorn founded the Order of the Blessed Agonies. Since then we have grown and watched and waited. Only in recent years that the events foretold in the Book of Chazot began to occur. It mentioned John Defoe. It mentioned you. Me? You were the one who prophesied to guide the bridge keeper to his destiny. But you didn't finish the job. All 3 aspects of John Defoe had to be destroyed to create the bridge: body, mind and soul. You only destroyed his body, his soul and mind remained. Had I known about this, I wouldn't have even done that. And that would truly disappoint my superiors. They were quite adamant that I should try to persuade you to join our cause and fulfill your foretold duty. Oh dear. Is that what why you were helping me? They thought if I guided you through your vision and showed you the appropriate passages from our holy books, you'd understand that the prophecy is real. A lot of dialogue on this bit. You honestly believed I'd joined some insane cult just because you handed me some leaflets? Personally, no. Knife in my gut brought an explosion of ice-cold agony. I felt the pitter-patter of my blood on the rocky floor. Pain, supplies, and my exhaustion worked together to cause immediate unconsciousness. Aww, poor Trilby. Displayed upon the stomach, blood still flowing leaking from my wound. I could barely move, which refused to respond. I was as weak as a newborn. They needed to nudge things along. They're going to do a ritual. I'm sure there's going to be an offering to the tall man. And men like you, Trilby, die on their own terms. They don't weakly let their life slip away from one measly life. Hush now. Caberdac is coming. Then the spreading flash, the room was swimming before my eyes. Ah! Wrong word. Becoming harder and harder to breathe, air rattles in and out of my lungs as a buzzsaw. Uh-oh. Not yet, but it's pretty close. Ah, there we go. It was just my own stubborn will that was keeping me alive. Now, die. I died. I present thee with relentless agonies, body, mind, and soul. Unfortunately, Trilby is dead. I can't type anything in. He's dead. Nothing will happen. They've given you plenty of opportunities on this one. Because people can complain if you don't give them enough opportunities to get it right. Hello, arrogant man. Oh, come on, let us see the tall man kill him. Ow. Oh, we hear the noise anyway. Hear that lovely crunchy noise. Trilby? Ah, there he is. Go back, Trilby. Leave me alone. I'm dead. Not yet, not fully. Your mind and soul are drifting apart from your body. With enough power, there is still time to pull them back. But you must have the will to return. Forget it. I've had enough. Did the assignments and made myself useful. I lived up to the reputation man gave me. Today I gave everything I could. And I still died. There is still work to be done. You have not yet completed your duty. I'm sick of duty. I'm sick of prophecy. Just let me sleep. Stronger men than you have tried to fight destiny. None succeeded. Past, present, future, all different faces of the same die, and few can see them all at once. But I can, and the future demands that you live. Return now, I have marked the path. Please, just let it end. Pleasing to me is useless, as I am just as much a prisoner of fate as you. The future your actions are destined to bring about has already taken place. Without your part, I would not be here to restore you to life. So you see, by my mere presence your decision is already made. Who are you? A murderer and a madman, and a puppet of forces neither of us could possibly comprehend. Here we go. Heartbeat. Trilby, say something. What? You're alive! Oh God, I didn't even know if I was doing it properly. Lord Lankman. That tall man took him. I did something horrible to him. And then he took him away. Here's my waistcoat. I've already called for an entrance. Let's get you back upstairs. Wait, to the wooden idol. Yes? Bring it with us. Wrap it up tightly in clothes and bring it with us. Don't let it touch your bare skin. Okay, she goes. She's not too sure about what's going on. And now it sits across from me. Reality shift had cleared up and we were free to leave. An STB cleanup crew arrived with the ambulance. He's all bandaged up there. No trace of a bed or the hotel staff was found. Officially, they've been classified as unexplained disappearances. Linkman and the tall man seem to have also vanished, which does not surprise me in the least. She's all signed the Official Secrets Act, and last I heard is staying with their parents to recuperate. Which just leaves me to write up my notes, with the idol that haunts my dreams gazing at me from across my desk. I was dead. I can't pretend I wasn't. No amount of CPR could have brought me back from where I was. So who did? The man in red? Who was he? Not an insane hallucination in brain death. Unimportant. I'm alive and that's all that matters. Just that. Just me and his wretched statuette. This wretched statuette that I am apparently fated to carry out. And my being wants to burn it to ashes and grind them into the dirt, but I do not. Over the prophecy that the destruction of the foe would somehow help him and his order summon their dark god. So if I destroy the idol, they win. What else can I do? Experience that leaks malevolent influence like a broken pipe leaks water. Nice analogy there. The only other option is to hide it. But where can I hide such a thing and ensure that it is never found again by human hands? I shall have to think about this. Signed Trilby. And a little hat. Ooh. The fulfillment of the prophecy continues. Ritual for the summoning of Chizo will go ahead. We have the blood of the guide. Now we must wait. Wait and prepare. And that, my friends, is the end of the game. Oh, it's giving you the Book of Chizo now, the actual writings. Which, funnily enough, this version of Trilby Notes has them all written down in a text file. I'll just leave this running. You can see the whole ending. Lovely close-up of Tall Man there. Just letting it play through. I'm not going to read it, you can read it yourselves. I like watching the end of it though. Gives you all the little bits and pieces that you actually couldn't necessarily put in the game without dragging it out a little bit longer. Quite long actually. And as I promised, I will do 7 Days of Skeptic at some point. It's the only one that I haven't played and filmed at the same time. because when I play it when I'm not filming I do die. There's a chase sequence in it, and I always die on it. I always forget which way that I'm supposed to go. Actually, I died a couple of other bits in that one as well. Some really ridiculous bits. There you go, tells you at the bottom, the Book of Chisholm, Book of the Prince, Chapter 2. There we go. End credits. Nice close-up of Trilby there. Also, I actually do like the music in this game. I just realised that's the actual porcelain head there in front of the Procaster. I hope you've at least enjoyed watching me play this, and I'll be back very soon, probably tomorrow, with another game. Thanks for watching.